Okay, for these exhaust flapper valves, you want to make sure there's no you want to put this up to the light. Make sure you can't see any light through areas like that. Okay, that means it's defective. This one is a little bit, oh, that's because there's a piece of debris. Yep, there's a piece of rag in there, opening that up. Yeah, be careful with the red rags, the red shop rags. Those things leave debris behind. I was very careful to drop the sweat in there. Very careful to get those out. So you just pretty much drop these into place without freaking debris. Drop those in there. And then, yeah, since there's a rubber seal around here, there's no gasket surface for these. Okay, for this exhaust manifold, boom, I'm going to spray up these gaskets with the copper high temp spray. It'll do 500 degrees. That should be fine for these. I'm going to chase all these threads and the threads inside here because they're a little bit corroded. The manual calls for let's see, synthetic grease. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Permatex anti-seize instead. I just think it's better. Boom. Boom. Okay, I have to torque them 17 and then 30. As for the mounting bracket, 5 bolts. Loctite them. I clean the threads with brake cleaner. There's another motor mount. See the pattern below? Goes like that. There's also a mount that goes here. So here's the parts for the starter assembly. There's some needle bearings in there. Got that greased up. I'm gonna grease this this whole assembly up here. A little bit of grease on these O-rings. Probably some light oil or grease and light grease in here for the spring. And Loctite on these bolts here. And let's put it together. So I have it greased up. Got a little bit more grease here. Put it in there. Yep. Okay, so this can only go on one way. It's cone shaped, and there's a Woodruff key. I needed to buy it because I couldn't find the original. Clean this up here. You want some anti-seize on there. A little bit of anti-seize. The Woodruff key right here. Don't lose it. Little fucker cost me 10 bucks. Put it in the slot. It's just even in the slot. It's in the slot. Slide this one on here. Boom. I'll give it a tap with a hammer. Big socket. Just to seat it down. Not too much. It'll of course push itself in once you put the bolt on it. This I know you have to line this up with I think that hole right here, and this long piece right here, I think it's a magnet. It might not be a magnet, it's a piece of metal. It's closer to the pickup. That dot has to be to the right of this magnet, just to the right. And you see there's marks here where it once was. That's where it goes. So this doesn't go on any particular way, but I think it calls for some Loctite on here. I guess. Maybe not. I know it requires Loctite. Wait, this is 243. Put them on here. This is a heavy duty bolt. I'll put it on here anyway. Okay, I achieved 80 foot-pounds. I mean 85 foot-pounds with the old school here. Holding back on the backside of the breaker bar. Simultaneously, tighten that down. I'll put another torque wrench on here just to make sure it's at the proper torque. stator cover on. Now the O-ring was bigger than this track here. It was hard to set it in place and not have it pop out, so I clamped it down in place overnight, and it stayed in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and install it now. I think I got a locked item. Mounted the starter in the bracket. Have some new gaskets. I'm not going to use any sealant down there, or should I? The radio valves have a little channel here. That's where you put the seal. I'll bolt it down. These are standard size valves because these are standard size pistons. So let me bolt those in. In this hole here, we need to put 30 milliliters, which is 1 ounce of 30 weight oil. So I got a turkey baster thing here, and it has a 30 milliliter mark, 1 ounce mark. Let me mark it here. 1 ounce, 30 milliliters. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this open. I'll cut my finger off. Sorry about the noise. Look at that. Just look at it. Milliliters. Boom. There it is. 30 milliliters. Tighten this up. This down a little bit. Now the gear assembly is lubed. Don't forget that step.